You're listening to WEOP AM 730, the voice of inquiry. It's time for Echoes of Persuasion with your host, Colt Thornton.
Movements rarely survive on arguments alone. They survive on characters, on voices, on personas, on performances that make belief feel natural, even inevitable. Good evening, I'm Colt Thornton, and you're listening to Echoes of Persuasion. When we talk about movements like flat Earth, it's easy to focus on the claims: curvature, gravity, satellites, conspiracies layered on top of conspiracies. But if arguments were enough to end it, the conversation would have been over years ago. What keeps these movements alive isn't the strength of their evidence, it's the strength of their performances. Flat Earth doesn't persist because its arguments hold up. It persists because its characters do. We've seen these masks before. In revival tents, preachers thundered certainty beneath bright lights and canvas ceilings. In cult compounds, visionaries spun entire worlds and invited followers to live inside them. On political stages, ideological purists drew sharp lines, rewarding loyalty and punishing doubt. The technology changes, the costumes change, but the roles don't. Flat Earth didn't invent these personas. It simply wears them in the age of YouTube, live streams, and viral clips. It's tempting to treat Flat Earth as a pile of bad claims. But bad claims don't explain why belief survives long after those claims collapse. People don't just attach to ideas, they attach to voices. A claim can fail. A persona can adapt. When one argument falls, another takes its place. But the mask, the role being played, remains. That's why fact-checking alone rarely moves the needle. You dismantle messages while the performance stays intact. Across the flat Earth landscape, three masks appear again and again. The narrative architect, who persuades through imagination, mystery, and immersive storytelling. The preacher scientist, who blends faith and pseudoscience, delivering certainty with the cadence of belief. And the doctrinal purist, who guards belief as sacred territory, enforcing loyalty and punishing dissent. These are not individuals, they are roles. Rhetorical costumes recycled whenever a movement needs not just claims, but characters. The real power isn't in any single mask, it's in how they work together. The visionary draws people in, the preacher confirms belief, the purist enforces boundaries. If one falters, another carries the performance forward. Audiences can move between them without ever leaving the stage. That's why the movement survives even when every claim has already collapsed. Not because of what is said, but because of how it's performed. Over the next few episodes, we're going to examine these masks one at a time. Not to argue with them, not to mock them, but to understand how persuasion works when belief becomes performance. We'll start with the mask that builds the world itself, the one that persuades less with evidence and more with imagination. The narrative architect. Before belief can take a position, it has to take shape. Join me as we continue the Masks of Persuasion series, here on Echoes of Persuasion. And always remember, the echoes fade, but persuasion never sleeps.